tarde. Oh, boa tarde. Olá e boa tarde. E bem-vindo to the Good Morning Portugal podcast with me, Carl Munson. Just check this out for a moment.
Nada de teatros.
Perfect and very nice. The voice you hear there is that of Mary Zwart, our Dutch independent midwife. Today's podcast wouldn't be possible without Mrs. Munson, who's here.
Hello.
Because it's all about giving birth and pregnancy. Well, I suppose I had to be part of that, didn't I?
Yeah.
But you're bearing the brunt. And great news this morning from Mary. You just heard her say perfect. And something else, but yes, the gist there is perfect. You could hear a lovely healthy heartbeat there. And I suppose the first question is, and this has come up before on the Pure Portugal pages, and I am hoping, and I think Mary's agreeable to me doing a longer interview for Pure Portugal about independent, not alternative. We'll let Mrs. Munson talk more about that, but you can have a home birth. A natural home birth here in Portugal. There is some controversy about that, but clearly you can, and we are.
Yes.
So our vocabulary today, we've got pregnancy. Remember what that is?
Gravida.
And there is a word, a sort of technical medical word for delivery, childbirth, which is parto.
Yeah.
But there's also another one, isn't there? A beautiful one that you've discovered.
Dar à luz. Or
Dar
luz.
à luz.
D-A-R, then A, and then L-U-Z. Which means giving to the light.
Giving to the light, isn't that fantastic?
It's beautiful.
So opening up I should have put some sort of warning on this podcast, but opening up the vaginal portal,
yes,
and allowing the light to emerge.
Yes, allowing the light to come through to planet Earth. So, yeah,
fantastic. So, what's your experience so far then, as somebody conceived pregnant, and due to deliver in a few weeks in Portugal?
Well, it's the third time, so I don't have all the same worries.
But not in this country.
No, it's my third time giving birth, so the pregnancy itself is pretty straightforward, and it's what you expect. But at the start of the pregnancy, I was really, really concerned about having a birth that was particularly medicalised, and I'd heard that the approach is quite rigorous in Portugal.
Yes, and if you can't speak the language, you'd just be swept along, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's a really vulnerable time when you give birth, because you just end up kind of following the ideas of other people, because you've got so much going on. It's a bit like emotional overload. So I was really concerned at the start, and I was hopeful that we'd be able to have a home birth and find someone that was willing to do it, and somebody that I could do it in a language that we shared.
Dutch.
Yeah, and I'm not fluent in Dutch, but thankfully Mary can speak English. And initially we were living in a different part of Portugal, and we found a midwife team that worked around the Lisbon area. However, we've moved since then, so we had to find a new team. And the thing that I'm really delighted about is the fact that there are lots of teams of people around Portugal. So
there's a bit of a network of people who are very supportive of home birth and natural childbirth as well, aren't there?
Absolutely. So it's completely legal to have a home birth, and these partners, like midwife partners that work together, obviously have some kind of relationship with the Portuguese authorities. So, for instance, I do have one of the Portuguese standard little green books, which our midwife fills in when I have an appointment with her.
Pregnancy passport.
Yes, like a pregnancy passport. It's not too different. I mean, well, it's a little different to the ones we get in the UK. It's like a fraction of the size, but it's all very reassuring that we can have a home birth.
Very good. Excellent. So let's remind you, just coming to the end of this podcast, if you want to know more, do drop us a line. If you want to know more about our personal experience, PM us. But
we've still got another 6 weeks.
Gravida, yes, we've got more to say. Gravida, parto, dar a luz,
Dar a luz.
and criança, child as well.
Or baby.
Okay, so there you go. Some information about childbirth, pregnancy, and independent birth here.
It's
Natural
also,
childbirth.
It's also, if I can squeeze it in, it's
No,
also
you can't.
possible.
Sorry, that's it.
Oh.
5 minutes. No, go on then.
It's also possible to get your scans done independently. Like in the UK, for instance, you know, you have to sign up with a doctor, and the doctor sort of lets you know that you can contact the hospital to sort it out. We've paid for scans privately and been able to do it that way. So it's totally possible to do it your own way here.
Well, it's quite fitting because this podcast is now overdue and overweight.
Nicely done.